Hello, I'm Michael Ginsberg. I'm a principal consultant at Optimal Campus Consulting, and here today to talk with one of my colleagues, Elmore Alexander, also a principal consultant at Optimal. I want to find out a little bit about your background, Elmore. Could you tell us about your educational background?
Yeah, well, I did my undergraduate degree a few years ago at Wake Forest, where I was an economics and communication double major. That led me, because of my involvement in collegiate debate, to the University of Georgia and the doctoral program in business administration there. The focus of my program was in organizational development, organizational behavior, and specifically focused around conflict management within organizations.
So you've obviously gone into the academic world. Can you tell us a little bit about your academic experience, your research and teaching for a start?
Yeah, well, I started, as I said, focused on conflict management and really organizational development kind of strategies. A lot of that focus ended up being on management communication skill, sort of looking at how managers who were better communicators were more effective and what we could do to make managers better communicators. About mid-career, I began to pivot more in the direction of international management and looking at issues that affected both the introduction of U.S. companies overseas and the function of companies overseas, still really keeping it to more of that management organizational development kind of perspective. In terms of teaching, I've taught a wide variety of courses, from introduction to management to organizational behavior, organizational theory, organizational development. I actually taught a bit in the psychology department in organizational psychology early in my career. Finishing out, though, as I shifted my research toward international business, the focus of what I taught tended to be more in that direction and more at graduate MBA courses focused on international management.
I think it's very interesting. At some point, you decided to go into academic administration. Why did you do that, and what was that experience like?
Given my area of management, organizational behavior, and that, it seemed like a very natural transition. And, when I was at University of Memphis at the start of my career, I started working for a research center and ended up managing a training operation for that research center across the state of Tennessee, and then ended up finishing off my time at University of Memphis running an executive conference center that had hotel space, conference space, 2 dining rooms, a really interesting experience of essentially operating a hotel within the university environment. That led me on then into more academic administration jobs. I was department chair and associate dean at American University in the Kogod College, and then was dean at Philadelphia University and Marist College and Bridgewater State University. So sort of finishing off my administrative career back at a state institution after spending almost 25 years in private higher education.
Uh-huh. And as you said, finishing off your career, but you're obviously not sitting at home doing nothing now. So can you tell us a little bit about what you are doing?
Yes. Well, in addition to working with Optimal Consulting on higher education consulting issues, I'm doing a couple of different things that are interesting. One, I'm on the board of a university in Switzerland, and this sort of ties back to that experience at the University of Memphis where I ran a conference center. This is a hospitality university, and so it was sort of a unique opportunity to go back to some of my experiences and to have an interesting opportunity to serve on a university board. And it has been absolutely fascinating during the COVID crisis of seeing how Switzerland and Europe was dealing with the situation in contrast to the US. Also, because of some contacts that we've had at Optimal Consulting, I'm doing some mentoring Portuguese startup companies, one in the area of AI and a second in an area of machine learning. These are companies that have some unique products and are trying to figure out how to develop those products and ultimately introduce those products in the United States. And so it's been an exciting opportunity to do, again, what I absolutely loved about higher education, and that is working with bright young people and trying to help them find a way to make a difference in this world.
Well, thank you, Elmore. It certainly sounds like you will keep busy, and thanks so much for telling us about it.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.